We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south-of-the-border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside.
Hi, I'm Kurt Angle. I represented the United States in the Olympics in 1996 and won a gold medal. Then I parlayed that into a pro wrestling career. I saw a commercial a few years ago.
Tunnel to Towers Foundation made a promise.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is paying off the mortgages for Gold Star families with young children. I thought, this is really cool. I want to be a part of it. My dad served in the Army for 30 years. We didn't have a lot of money, but he made sure we had what we needed. He set a great example for all of us. He died in a construction accident my freshman year in high school. When he died, we didn't have any income coming in, and we ended up being forced to move out of our house. I was devastated. So I understand what these families are going through, and to have an organization like Tunnel to Towers come in and pick you up and carry you and give you a home to live in, I think that's just amazing. I'd like to ask you to donate $11 a month to support these efforts by going to t2t.org or calling 1-844-BRAVEST.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the race books and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning. Well, all right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio program, coming to you live and direct from the gaming capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, right here at our studio station at the South Point Hotel Casino Complex on Las Vegas Boulevard in your gaming capital. And, of course, the South Point Studios streaming network at YouTube. We welcome you to the show. We also welcome all of our listeners here locally listening to us on the radio station this morning, our anchor radio station, Sports Talk 1400 AM, 107.1 FM. Whole bunch of websites, you know the deal. You know you can get your apps for your devices, and certainly wherever you get your podcasting as well. So welcome to the show. It is Breeders' Cup Win and You're In weekend, and we're almost done with the Win and You're In. 2 more races today. We'll finish off the 15 Win and You're In races that started on Friday. 2 more. Those 2 races, of course, will be at Santa Anita and Keeneland. Keeneland actually will have the Breeders' Cup winning. Santa Anita will not. Santa Anita had it yesterday. The Breeders' Cup winning ends, 2 of them at Keeneland Racecourse. But a whole bunch of winning ends happened yesterday. And then we start earnestly getting started with the countdown. That's only 25 days away now anyhow. And, of course, I'll keep reminding you out there, this is the second best place to witness the Breeders' Cup and enjoy the Breeders' Cup anywhere in the world. The only other place is the actual Breeders' Cup site at Del Mar, where you have to pay an arm and a leg just to enjoy it. You won't have to do that here, so make sure you make plans to be with us. It all starts on Thursday with the Breeders' Cup special, Race Day Las Vegas special handicapping show with our handicappers, Jonathan Ardoon, John Lindo, and a whole bunch of other ones. And that'll happen on Thursday at 3 p.m., October 30th. October 30th, Thursday, October 30th at 3 p.m. Pacific time, only here at the YouTube streaming network. Can't get it in any other our platforms. It's only on the YouTube streaming network. And then we roll right into the Breeders' Cup weekend with the seminar on Friday night, Halloween night, right after the first stars of the future Breeders' Cup Day 1. And then on Saturday, the big show, of course, in the ballroom, watching and all of these great races. And it's going to be a great Breeders' Cup. I can tell it's starting to be a great Breeders' Cup. In looking at the Breeders' Cup winning or in races that's already happened over this weekend, most of them were for the 2-year-olds that will either be performing in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies and Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf and main track races. It seemed that most of those odds-on favorites in those 2-year-old races, the ones that had the big races leading up to these 2-year-old races, didn't get there. One got there, and that was via disqualification, and there was only one other one that got there already on this weekend. And we only have 2 more Breeders' Cup winning or in races to go. So as they say, they got to run the races. No matter how great a horse looks in a race, they got to run the races. And by the way, we're talking about these races for 2-year-olds and upsets. What a big upset it was in the American Pharoah. I mean, come on, Bob Baffert had 4 out of the 6 horses, but he didn't win the race. So the big weekend yesterday was centered around Belmont at Aqueduct. Manny Franco had a big day. Joel Rosario had back-to-back wins in 2 stakes races for Breeders' Cup winning or ins, and Chad Brown had multiple winners. As far as Keeneland was concerned, it was all about Hall of Fame jockey John Velasquez. Boy, did he have a big day yesterday. Him and Todd Pletcher got together to win multiple stakes races. Velasquez actually won 5 overall, and what a day it was for the breeding operation of Spendthrift. Man, did they have a knockout day yesterday. And at Santa Anita, Umberto Rispoli and Phil D'Amato got together to win several races together. Hector Barrios won multiple races as well. So without any further ado, we'll take a look at what happened yesterday. At Keeneland, we begin the day in the second race, 2-year-old maidens, where Todd Pletcher wins his first race with Dylan Davis, paying $7.72. In the third race, John Velasquez got his first of 5 wins on the day with Wesley Ward, who got his first win of the day. They teamed up together in the third race in an allowance race for 2-year-olds and won with the favorite there, paying $3.36. And then in the fourth race, Todd Pletcher came right back, and so did John Velasquez. They came right back and teamed up in the fourth race with the winner there that paid $11.32, beating John Lendo's pick, who finished second in the race. And then, of course, Flavian Pratt got together with Steve Asmussen to win the fifth race, and a horse Tap Into This that has won 3 races in a row now, paying $7.82. In the first of the stakes races, the Woodford at 5.5 furlongs on the turf. The winner there was Kadem. Kadem closed from last to first place in a 5.5 furlong turf race, and this horse had one horse beat at the top of the stretch and had a monstrous closing charge under Frankie Dettori to win for Charles Hills, paying $8.54, catching Script, who finished second, and Joe Shiesty, who finished third. In the Club of America, Thoroughbred Club of America Stakes, for 6 furlongs for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, that winner there was Praying, who I guess a lot of people prayed for, because Praying upset the apple cart. Betting was between Vahava and Zeitlos, but neither one of them got the job done. Praying wins the race. John Velasquez's third win of the day for Robert Medina, paying $21.74 in an upset. Bahava was second. Vodka was with a twist was third, and Zeitlos off the board. Then in the First Lady Stakes, the 8th race on the card, Simply in Front got to the front in the nick of time. Simply in Front under Ben Curtis for Eddie Canelli, paid $28.24 in the 1 mile First Lady on the turf upset. Segesta was second, and Choisia was third in that race. Then we got to the Breeders' Futurity. This a Breeders' Cup winning your race. 2-year-olds, the Breeders' Futurity, the 1 mile and 16th on the main track, and the big favorite in this race was Ted Nafi. But unlike the other bet-down 2-year-olds that didn't get it done, Ted Nafi did, and he got it done in a big way. This horse has got to be the favorite for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Ted Nafi wins the Breeders' Futurity with a little bit of a panache to him. John Velasquez, his 4th win of the day. Todd Pletcher's 3rd win of the day, paying $3.84. Outrunning Blackout Time and Litmus Test, the Bob Baffert trainee who finished 3rd. In the $1,250,000 turf mile, at a mile on the turf, the winner there was Rhetorical, winning his 4th win in a row under Irad Ortiz Jr. for William Walden, paid $21.18, upsetting Program Trading and Brilliant Birdie. Brilliant Birdie finished 3rd. The big favorite in the race, Diego Velasquez, really never fired. And then in the 11th race, John Velasquez capped it off with his 5th win of the day for Wesley Ward's 2nd win of the day, paying $3.76, and that's how it went yesterday at Keeneland. Breeders' Cup win in your in winners, Praying, Ted Nafi, and Rhetorical. We move on to Belmont at Aqueduct. Jose Lezcano and Linda Rice got together again, winning the first race at $7.28. That team is back now with Lezcano back in the saddle. Chad Brown won his first of many winners yesterday. In the second race, the Discovery Stakes, with rated by merit, Manny Franco's first win of the day with Chad Brown, paying $2.58, is the big favorite there. Wise Up finished 2nd. Light Forever was 3rd. Linda Rice got together for a 2nd win of the day, this with Kendrick Carmouche in the 3rd race, paying $7.36. Chad Brown got his 2nd win of the day in the Jockey Club Derby Invitational at 1 mile and 3/8 on the turf with Asbury Park. Manny Franco's 2nd win of the day, so Franco and Brown hooked up to get their 2nd wins of the day and their 2nd stakes wins of the day in this race, paying $6.96, outrunning Noble Confessor and Hill Road. Manny Franco came back in the 5th race with his 3rd win of the day for Amelia Green, paying $5.52. Then we got to the next big race on the day, the Frizette for 2-year-olds fillies going a mile, a 1-turn mile. And in this race, Iron Orchid wins for Joel Rosario, and a very solid ride there. Iron Orchid, Danny Gargan, the trainer there, $6.90, outrunning Caramel Coast and 5 bars. In the Champagne for 2-year-olds at a 1-turn mile, a Breeders' Cup winning or in race, the winner there was Napoleon Solo, who grabbed the lead at the start from the big 1-5 favorite, It's Our Time. It's Our Time took a shot at him at the top of the stretch, couldn't get the job done. Napoleon Solo goes wire to wire in a solid upset. Joel Rosario's 2nd win and his 2nd stakes win of the day. For Chad Summers, paying $15.94. Talkin' finished 2nd. Universe finished 3rd, and It's Our Time finished off the board at 1-5. The Miss Grillo, another Breeders' Cup win in your Wren race for 2-year-old fillies at 1 mile and 16th on the inner turf, won by Ground Support, going wire to wire under a cagey ride by Adam Basisha. Kelsey Denner, the trainer there, paying $26.86, outrunning Deep Learning and Quiet Street. Ricardo Santana got his first win of the day for Mike Maker in the 9th race, paying $14.32. And the 10th race, a 2-year-old maiden race, Manny Franco got his 4th win of the day for Brad Cox at $3.94. And in the 12th race, Chad Brown got his 3rd win of the day. Ricardo Santana's 2nd win of the day, paying $7.44. Nobody had the pick 6 yesterday at Belmont at Aqueduct. 5 out of 6 paid $1,977.94. So you got a pick 6 carryover today at Belmont at Aqueduct. That late pick 5 for 50 cents, $25,312 and change. Then we go to Santa Anita. In the first race at Santa Anita, Hector Barrios on the turf. Guaranteed winner. There it is for Richard Baltus, paying $11.60. The Chillingsworth Stakes was the first of the 5 stakes races yesterday at Santa Anita. Tamara comes back to the races with a solid win for Mike Smith and Richard Mandela in the Chillingsworth, paying $2.80 as the big prohibitive favorite there. Silent Law was second. Ang and Nash was third. In the third race, the American Pharaoh, a Breeders' Cup win-in-your-in race for 2-year-olds at a mile and 16th. 6 in the race. 4 trained by Bob Baffert. And he didn't win it. The winner in an upset was Intrepido, under Hector Barrios for Jeff Mullins, pays $19.60, beating the Baffert Quintet. Intrepido was finishing second to him was Desert Gate, who was the early pace setter and the favorite in the race, and Pultark was third. The fourth race, Jerry J gave us a winner there. In the winner, a Cuban Confusion, Umberto Rispoli's first win of the day, and Phil D'Amato's first win of the day, paid $7.20. Jerry also had a hookup horse that hit the exacta. The dollar exacta paid $18.60. The sixth race on the turf, guess what? Hector Barrios again wins another turf race for 2-year-old maidens with Conducted, going gate to wire. 640 there. That was a pick on the show from Jonathan Hardoon. $6.40 there. And the Siraco play hit because Rich Ang's pick on the race finished second. So the dollar Siraco exacta paid $8.10. It wasn't much there. Umberto Rispoli got his second win of the day in the seventh race for George Papapadromo at $6.60. And then the eighth race was the Rodeo Drive, a Breeders' Cup win in your in, on the turf for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Well, if it's on the turf, you know Phil D'Amato's going to be there, and he did. His horse won, paying $25.80 in a big upset. Mission of Joy under Umberto Rispoli. So this was Rispoli's third win of the day, and Rispoli and D'Amato's second win together on the day. $25.80 in an upset on the turf in the stake. Speed Shopper finished second, and finishing third in the race was Starry Heaven. And finally, in the final Breeders' Cup win-in-your-win race of the day at Santa Anita, the Oakley for 2-year-old fillies at a mile and 16th. The winner there was the favorite. It was a Bob Baffert trainee, Explora with Juan Hernandez aboard, $2.80 to win there, outrunning La Wally and La Vie Lumiere, who finished third. And then Umberto Rispoli and Phil D'Amato got another win in the final race of the day with Later Than Planned, Rispoli's fourth win of the day, D'Amato's third win of the day, paying $22.60 in the 5-furlong turf race in the last race. That was the Speakeasy Stakes. Baccio finished second, and Twilight Delight was third. All in all, pick 6 at Santa Anita yesterday paid $13,880.20. Breeders' Cup win-in-your-in winners yesterday were Intrepido and Mission of Joy and Explora there at Santa Anita. Woodbine had a couple of stakes races, actually 3 stakes races on the day. The Nearctic won by Nonay Hudson. Pablo Morales for Wesley Ward, paying $18.90. The Dance Smartly was won by Breath of Way for Sahan Savici for Miguel Clement, paying $14 even. And the Canadian International, Salawi went gate to wire in this race under Daniel Tudhope for H.A. Al-Jahani, paying $22.90, outrunning Tawny Port, who was a fast-closing second, and Nation's Pride, who was third. And that's the way it went yesterday in the big races around the country. Got more today. Jonathan Hardoon is standing by. So is Rich Ang with an NFL play. His NFL game that he gave us yesterday is underway already. It's that race in Berlin. So it's going on while we're talking. He'll have another NFL pick today and a horse pick as well. And, of course, we've got John Lendo back with us and Jerry J as well. And your racing menu is coming up next, so don't go away. We'll be right back on this Sunday Race Day show.
South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Weather, 61 degrees right now here in Las Vegas. We're going to get up to 82 degrees. Perfect time of the year. It's just beautiful out there right now. As far as the rest of the country, Miami will get 86 with some possible little rain left over there. New York, 84 degrees in New York today on this October the 5th. Wow. Chicago, 86. Southern California, 81 and sunny. So it's been a great day out there at Santa Anita today. And as far as the highest temperature in the nation does not come in Phoenix, Arizona. It sits right there at Brownsville, Texas at 94 degrees. As far as precipitation around the country is concerned, looks pretty good here. Nothing really to talk about as far as the racing center. So we'll get right to your racing menu for today. Remember, the first post times are Pacific because that's where we're at here in the Pacific time zone. These will be the first post times rolling out in the racebook today here in Las Vegas. And, of course, if you're in the Pacific time zone, no problem. But if you're in any other time zone around the world, you know what to do. Adjust to the Pacific time zone so you don't miss anything like I miss Mom and Dad. Okay, here we go. We begin with Laurel Park. Now, Laurel Park has 9 races today. And their first post time at Laurel Park today is set at 9:10. 9:10 at Laurel for their first post time today there. Then we go next to Gulfstream Park. Gulfstream Park, 10 races today at Gulfstream. And as far as any carryovers there at Gulfstream, their Pick 6 jackpot carryover stands at $11,275. First post time at Gulfstream for their 10 races, $950. Then we get to Keeneland Racecourse. Keeneland, the last 2 Breeders' Cup win-in-you're-in races are here at Keeneland. They'll be the last 2 races on the card. The Indian Summer Stakes for 2-year-olds on the turf at 5.5 furlongs will set the table there. That's the 8th race on the card. 9 go to the post before any scratches. The 2-1 favorite is Bob Rofsky with Junior Alvarado. Then the Grade 1 Spinster for the older fillies and mares at 1 1/8. This is a Breeders' Cup win-in-you're-in. 5 are in the race, and this is going to be a goodie. It's going to be a throwdown. Torpedo Anna is the 8-5 favorite. Flavien Prat, the new rider there. Brian Hernandez, of course, on the sidelines, hurt. But she's going to take on Nitrogen, the 5-2 second choice. The first meeting between these two is going to be a goodie, the Spinster. And then the final race is the Grade 2 Bourbon for 2-year-olds on the turf at 1 16th. And this is the final Breeders' Cup win-in-you're-in race. 12 before scratches, 8-5 favorite. There is final score with Ired Ortiz Jr. First post time at Keeneland today is at 10 a.m. They've got a super high 5 carryover at Keeneland. That super high 5 carryover stands at $12,990. And that, of course, is at Keeneland today. Super high 5 carryover, $12,990. Then we go to Woodbine. Woodbine has a couple of stakes races today. The Algonquin is the 7th at 5 furlongs on the turf. And the Cup and Saucer is the 9th race for 2-year-olds at 1 16th on the turf. 10 races today at Woodbine. Woodbine has a super high 5 jackpot carryover, $8,869. Pick 6 jackpot carryover, $6,146. First post time at Woodbine is 10:05. And then we have Belmont at Aqueduct. Beautiful day there at Belmont at Aqueduct. 9 races. Their stakes race is the Weah. The Weah is the 6th race on the card at 1 3/8. On the inner turf course for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, a field of 13, although the 13 is a main track only. But in this race, the favorite as it stays on the turf, will be Elmira. I take that back. I'm sorry. Village Voice is the 5-2 favorite there. I kind of like Elmira in the race, but Village Voice is the 5-2 favorite there with Dylan Davis. First post time at Belmont at Aqueduct with a pick six carryover of $65,367 is at 10-10. 10-10 Belmont at Aqueduct today. Remington Park has 9 races. They got an early post today, 12 o'clock, 12 high noon is first post at Remington for their 9 races. Hawthorne Racecourse has 9 races today. They've got a couple of stakes races. The $75,000 River Bear is the 6th, and the Hawthorne Derby. The $150,000 Hawthorne Derby is the 5th race on the card at a mile and 1/8 on the turf. A field of 8 before scratches. Maui Strong, the 9-5 favorite in that one. First post time at Hawthorne is set at 12:40 at Hawthorne today. They've got a pick 5 carryover of $5,182, and their pick 6 carryover is $4,625. First post time at Hawthorne today, again at 12:40. Then we go to Santa Anita. 10 races today at Santa Anita. Couple of stakes races. The Zuma Beach for 2-year-olds at a mile on the turf is the 4th. Favorite in that race at 5-2 is Caro Bueno. And then the Surfer Girl is the 8th on the card. That's for 2-year-old fillies at a mile on the turf. A field of 8 before scratches. Your 9-5 favorite is Will Happen with Juan Hernandez aboard. First post time at Santa Anita today is 1 o'clock this afternoon. Pick 6 carryover at Santa Anita, $26,407. $26,407 today in the pick 6 carryover. Kind of light there. Of course, they got that Sunset pick 6 now, probably eaten into that. Anyhow, the final race on the final track on the card is Los Alamitos. The first post time is 5:45. They got a thoroughbred race, 5 mixed breed races at 1,000 yards, and then 3 quarter horse races makes up the 9 races at Los Alamitos. And a first post time there at Los Al with a pick 6 carryover of $9,998 is set at 5:45. All right. Time to go out to Jonathan Hardoon. Jonathan, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How are you?
I'm doing fine, my man. So all of these races for 2-year-olds so far, all of the big odds-on favorites, one wins through a disqualification on Friday. Ted Nafi won as a
questionable DQ also.
Okay. Ted, right. Okay. And by the way, I would not play that horse back even if it got the disqualification win. Trust me when I tell you that.
Put up.
Yeah. That horse was going nowhere. In any case, exactly. Ted Nafi, who is going somewhere, he had a solid win yesterday. And Explora, of course, at Santa Anita. But those are the only 2 legit winners that were odds-on in all of these big races with 2-year-olds that had these huge past performances with the odds-on favorites.
Yeah, well, everyone was looking forward to watching It's Our Time, the Tom Amoss horse that ran in the Champagne yesterday, to come back and run after his 17-length win at Saratoga in his first start. So it all shows you what one race means and how people fall in love and fall out of love with horses very easily. They're extremely fickle. They were all anointing him the Derby winner after the Saratoga race, and something went wrong yesterday. Apparently, he doesn't want to go that far. Ted Nafi, I think, is, like you said, the definite favorite at this point. He did it around 2 turns yesterday, which other horses didn't do, so that's certainly a plus in his corner. You know, you got Ted Nafi, you got the Baffert horses in California. Those obviously look like the tough horses.
Well, the filly did, but the Colts, there were 4 Colts in the 6-horse field. They couldn't get the job done. Jeff Mullins upset them there. And I will go back to the race at New York in the Champagne. Napoleon Solo ran a solid race because he looked that favorite in the eye from the get-go. He cracked that horse and then pulled away. And that was a solid win, I thought.
No question about it. The horse ran very well. It was only a second start. So like we said, who knows? We said it the whole last week, Ralph. When horses run 1 race and 2 races, it doesn't really mean much. Horses, lightly raced young horses, have a license to improve dramatically in their second and third start. Not only that, certain trainers take their time. Certain trainers squeeze them early. Every trainer has their own method of training, and you have to really know what trainer intentions are.
Well, and not only that, but I got to tell you, you're talking about the younger horses, yes, but the established turf horses didn't do so well either. You know, Diego Velasquez in the turf mile was supposed to be the horse who was going to run down everybody, had great credentials, and came up flat as well on the turf.
Yeah, but it was a European invader, and until you see them do it here, you know, they could have all the credentials in the world. And he was a high-priced horse and everything else. They paid all kinds of money. He was super bred. He just never showed up.
Well, we know that Rhetorical's on the right track in that race, winning that race for his fourth win.
New York bred, Ralph.
Yeah, New York bred, yeah, and winning his fourth win in a row. New York bred.
Yeah, and by the way, back to the 2-year-olds. Let's not forget about Brandt for Baffert, because that horse, you know, he's got funny action, but he's an extremely fast horse. So.
Well, and Brandt will be training up to the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, that's for sure. And we will now take a look at the two last Breeders' Cup winning races. They're both at Keeneland. They are the last two races on the card. And the one that everybody's going to be looking at, we're going to do this backwards because I want to talk about the Bourbon for 2-year-olds at 1.16 miles on the turf. And this thing seems to be wide open. Final score is the one that's the morning line favorite. But then again, we know how the 2-year-olds and these favorites are doing so far.
Yeah, listen, again, you have horses that have 1 and 2 races, lightly raced horses. The Brad Cox horse ran very well at Kentucky Downs in his one and only turf start. By the way, the Kentucky Downs horses that have run back at Keeneland have all run very well. So pay attention to that. It's not always like that, but this year it is. And Exonerate, who Flavian Pratt jumped on last time for the first time at Kentucky Downs when he tried grass for the first time, ran very well. At 9-2, that may be the right play in here.
Okay, so that would be the 10th race. Then we back up one race, which is the centerpiece probably of the entire day as far as stakes races are concerned. It is the Spinster. When Breeders' Cup was in its early stages, the Spinster was a key prep race for the Breeders' Cup Distaff. It hasn't been so potent recently, but it may very well be back to that this year, because in the Spinster we have last year's Horse of the Year, Torpedo Anna, getting Flavian Pratt, who, by the way, has committed to ride this horse not only today, but in the Breeders' Cup Distaff as well, with Brian Hernandez on the sidelines for Kenny McPeak. Torpedo Anna is the 8-5 favorite here. This will be the first time Pratt rides her. But in the race, she's going to go against a new and very qualified competitor in Nitrogen at 5-2 with Jose Ortiz aboard.
Yeah, and it's only a 5-horse field, but it's a pretty competitive field. To be honest with you, you can make a case for 4 out of the 5 of them. The 1-horse Chilled, I don't think has any chance. But the other 4 are all, you know, pretty evenly matched. I was going to take a little bit of a shot with Skilla, the 2-horse, who's stretching out today. I think this horse is going to show speed from the inside today. They just may forget about her, and she may shake loose. And she's listed at 4-1. So I thought that was a fair price, and I was looking to beat the favorites, and that's who I ended up on, Skilla.
Yeah, this will be the first time that Nitrogen takes on these older fillies, Skilla and Torpedo Anna as well. And don't forget about Jin with Luis Saez. A little sneaky there, you know. So it's going to be a good race. It's going to be a great chess game to watch these guys do it. And that's the 9th race, the Spinster at Keeneland. And then, of course, we'll take your picks for today, and we'll let you go.
Okay, so let's go to Belmont at Aqueduct. Look at the 8th race today. It's 6 furlongs sprinting on the turf. And like you said, Ralph, it's a beautiful day here in New York. And I like a price horse in here. Number 7, Suspiciously Named. A 4-year-old gelding from the Eddie Pringle barn. Romero Morale aboard to ride. This horse is listed at 10-1 on the morning line, and you're going to get every bit of it. These are low-profile connections. The trainer doesn't win often. Romero Morale off to a tough start at this meet. I believe he's 0 for 40, but he's going to get a win today, and it comes on number 7, Suspiciously Named, in the 8th race today out at Belmont at the Big A.
Let's name him a winner in the winner's circle. How about that? No suspicions there. And the 8th race, the 7, Suspiciously Named. Murrah aboard there at nice 10-1 on the morning line. Oh, boy, that'll be a nice way to end the week. In the 8th race, the 7 at Belmont at Aqueduct. We go where next?
We go to Santa Anita. Look at race 7, a mile on the turf. And I like another price horse right here, Ralph. Number 6, Corporal Violet, a 6-year-old mare. This horse was reclaimed last time out by trainer Mark Reinford, who had success with this horse in the past. You know, he thought enough to claim her back. He protects her today. She's listed at 8-1 on the morning line. Antonio Forsug climbed the board 2 starts back for the first time, and he's run very well. He's done very well riding this horse. I like number 6, Corporal Violet, to upset and win today's 6th race out at Santa Anita.
All right, the 6th horse in the 6th race at Santa Anita, Corporal Violet, the 6th in the 6th race. And folks, just want to remind you out there, we have not cut off Jonathan Hardoon's nose. He was just leaning a little forward in the frame to read all of the quotes and the numbers that he had on the race. But his nose is still there, as you can see now.
Well, I don't put the program near the computer because it
clacks.
The sound.
Exactly, right. In any case, we understand. That's for sure. In the 6th race, number 6 at Santa Anita. You've got a full sheet of handicapping both at Santa Anita, Belmont at Aqueduct, and at Keeneland today. And where can they get it?
JONHARDOON.com.
Oh, let me not forget, you got Gulfstream too, right?
Yeah, people put a request in because they have that Sunset Pick 6, and
okay.
Which, by the way, has been anything but a success as far as I'm concerned. I mean, they're getting no money in that pool or the Coast to Coast Pick 5, but people seem to like it.
I know. I think what they ought to do is put a Sunset on the Sunset Pick 6. That's what I think they ought to do.
Put it to sleep and go back to the Coast to Coast where they were getting 100,000 in the pool every week, but not now. So.
All right, Gulfstream, Keeneland, Santa Anita, Belmont at Aqueduct. Over and out. Thanks a lot, my man.
Thanks, Ralph. Stay safe and be well.
All right, you got it. We're going to our break, and when we come back, we'll have Rich Eng with us, so don't go away.
Thank you, buddy.
There are many families that need your help. I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I'm asking you to support the Tunnel to Towers Foundation in their efforts to deliver mortgage-free homes to catastrophically injured service members, Gold Star, and fallen first responders families with young children, as well as eradicating homelessness amongst our veterans.
Everybody knows where the money's going. Every single dollar. God bless you.
Please contribute $11 a month to support their efforts by visiting t2t.org.
This is speed. This is winning. This is losing. This is smoke and fire. This is high stakes and wild cards. This is family and tradition. This is everything on the line. This is it. This is NASCAR in Las Vegas. The South Point 400, a NASCAR playoff race, October 10th through 12th. Get your tickets now. LVMS.com.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Don't forget, a big weekend next weekend here in Las Vegas live, the South Point 400, and a big weekend it is, the 10th, 11th, and 12th out at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And don't forget to get this special edition of Brendan Gaughan's City Lights Shine, they call it, different flavors, and I've tasted it. It is a rock and roll hit. It is a limited edition. This is the one that we're showing on set here is the Joey Logano bottle, and which was last year's 400 winner. And you can buy it at the gift shop here at the South Point. It's a winner, that's for sure. All right, let's go out to Rich Eng standing by. Richie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ralphie. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, listeners.
Well, Richie, all I can say, when you're wrong, you're really wrong. And all I can say about that is Penn State probably suffered the biggest upset of the college football season so far when they went into Southern California as almost a 25-point favorite and got beat outright by UCLA. So the question is, what happened?
Well, it's the kind of game that will get some coaches fired, but I don't think it'll happen to Franklin, the Penn State coach. But, UCLA, there was a stat, Ralph, that, they were 0-4. And in those 4 losses, they had never led for even 1 second of any of those 4 games. And here they are trading punches with Penn State. And, I saw on the chatters that a mutual friend of ours, Jeff Siegel, passed away. Yeah. He was the #1 UCLA Bruins fan. So maybe if there's, karma, with Jeff Siegel that he might have been on the shoulder pads of every UCLA Bruins player to play the game of their life. But yeah, that was just unexplainable when you handicap the game on paper.
All I can say is you're right about Jeff Siegel. I knew him personally when I first came to the racetrack. The first day I ever spent in a press box at any racetrack, Jeff Siegel brought me in and made me feel comfortable. And he also, I could tell you one thing right now. In those days, the writers had the old Royal typewriters, the mechanical typewriters. And Jeff could type so fast that sparks came off of that typewriter. That was for sure. He was a really nice guy, and it really hurt me to see him passing away. We'll talk more about that with John Lindo, et cetera, on Wednesday's show. And I also want to get to a special listener and a watcher of our show for many, many years who also passed away last week. We'll get to that on Wednesday. We'll keep an upbeat for today. But going to the racing today, and football picks. Now you had what was the pick you had this morning? Cleveland, right?
Well, I took the Cleveland Browns plus 3.5.
Yeah.
And they're coming up to halftime, and the score is 7-7. But if anyone's been watching the game so far, this game's dead even. So plus 3.5, we got a chance. But if you sprinkle a little on the money line, I think we got a chance too to win the game outright. College football yesterday, 1-1. Maryland, I tell you what, Ralph, the money line bet almost came in. They led 20-0 at the half.
Yeah.
Didn't score a point in the second half, and Washington needed to outscore Maryland 21-0 in the fourth quarter to win the game, but Maryland covered. So we were 1-1.
All I can say about if you're dead even at halftime and you got 3.5, you got to feel real comfortable, because if they get into overtime and win by a field goal, that half means a lot. That's for sure.
Yes, it does.
All right, time to get some horse picks. Where are we going first?
Well, I am going to give another NFL game for the late bettors. Game
Sure.
478. 477, 478 is Tampa Bay at the Seattle Seahawks, and there the hook has come in again. Seattle is favored by 3.5, but in this one, I like Seattle as a favorite at 3.5. There's two ways you can do that. Either you can just take the 3.5 and hope that they blow out Tampa Bay, or you can buy that half point, knock it down to -3. But Tampa Bay is unbelievably beat up. Injuries on both sides of the offense and defense, and Seattle is relatively healthy and playing great defense, like the Seahawks, Ralph.
Okay, you got the Seahawks -3.5 in the NFL later on today, and of course we'll get to the horse picks now.
Race 7 at Keeneland, the maiden special weight, 6 furlongs. And, I heard you and Jonathan talking about how handicappers, including all of us, sometimes put a little too much emphasis on one start. But, if that's all you have to work with, you got to figure out if a horse is going to move forward or regress like the Amos horse yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But the 4, Paige Turner, is a one-start horse. I thought ran a very, very interesting debut. Ran second at Saratoga, picks up Jose Ortiz today. I think if this horse improves a step, is right there. Number 4, Paige Turner in the 7th.
7th race, number 4, Paige Turner, Jose Ortiz aboard, the 4 in the 7th at Keeneland. And we have a pick at Santa Anita as well.
Race 4, 1 mile. It is the Zuma Beach, one of the stakes races for the 2-year-olds on the grass. I like the number 1 horse, Stark Contrast, rail draw at a mile. I talked about how much I like that, especially with a live horse with Kazushi Kimura. He should be able to save all the ground, rally late. 1, Stark Contrast in the 4th.
All right, 4th race, the Zuma Beach. Number 1, Stark Contrast, the 1 in the 4th race at Santa Anita. Don't forget, Richie's got a full sheet of handicapping both for Keeneland today and at Santa Anita. And, of course, he'll be keeping an eye on the football as well. A lot going on today, Richie, and we will talk to you on Wednesday.
Hey, thanks, Rob. Good luck, everybody.
All right, we're going to come back with John and Jerry to wrap up this weekend show as the horses continue to train on the racetracks around the country, and of course, especially the horses leading up to the Breeders' Cup. By the way, Journalism had his another maintenance work yesterday and did just fine. We'll be right back.
South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. Soak up the sun and let your stress melt away in our lagoon-style paradise swimming pool. A relaxing getaway where you can bask in the desert sun and enjoy seasonal food and bar service poolside. And if you really want to escape, come to Spa Costa del Sur. From couple suites to a co-ed wet area, our spa caters to business and leisure travelers who want to unwind and elevate their senses. A visit to one of our spa's steam, sauna, or whirlpool treatment rooms will leave any guest feeling like they can take on the world.
Are you ready to lock in your bets and cash in on the games this weekend? Join Jeff Parles and Alex White.
One of my favorite plays here is getting 2 touchdowns with Florida State.
Even though the total's been batted down a little bit, I still think it's okay to go under.
Chris Andrews and Vinny Magliulo.
I don't think this is a great Kansas City team. I think the Chargers win this game.
All right.
If you see a hook here, it's not going to last long.
The wise guys are certainly not going to play the favorite.
Every NFL matchup, every college game that matters, the spreads, the stats, and the smart money plays.
Are we sure either of these quarterbacks are good?
Hell no, we're not sure.
Bet your winning edge with Football Frenzy, streaming live on YouTube every Friday at noon Pacific.
The Race Day Las Vegas Show, the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
Alrighty, back on Race Day Las Vegas. To put a capper on this week's shows for Race Day Las Vegas, we go out to Southern California where John Lendo is standing by. John, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, my man. I know the Arc de Triomphe raced about a half an hour or so ago. Do you have any results on that yet?
A horse named Darius from France won the race over the favorite. I just saw the stretch run. I know that the turf was very soft over at Longchamp today. So I don't know, as far as ramifications if anybody's coming from there for the Breeders' Cup, but it's going to be a completely different type of surface here at Del Mar than what we saw in France today.
So it's probably a non-productive start for any horses in the Arc if they elect to venture over here for the Breeders' Cup later on this month and the beginning of next month. Jeff Siegel, I know that he was a good friend of yours and a good friend of mine, and it just disheartened me so much to see Jeff gone because he was such a nice guy all around, just a nice guy, good handicapper, and a good horseman.
Yeah, tough day for us, Ralph. Jeff is a guy I learned so much from, and you talk about young guys growing up and loving the game and got to watch and learn from guys like Jeff Siegel, who did numbers before there were numbers, taught me how to watch races, and loved having discussions with him in the press box, just talking horses and the depth of knowledge, such a kind man and just a terrific handicapper. And he was a better guy than he was a handicapper, and that's important to know. We're going to miss him a lot. He had a lot to do with shaping what I think was a group of terrific handicappers in the press box in Southern California on a daily basis.
No question about that. I remember the first time I ever walked into a press box, the new kid, wet behind the ears, etc. And Jeff did the same thing to me, and I always appreciated that a lot. And we had a lot of great conversations. Some of them in the press elevator with Gail, the elevator operator, going up and down in the press box on the top floor. But I'll leave those stories for another day, maybe in the memoir or something. But Jeff was such a nice guy. It was, I guess the racetrack upstairs needed a good handicapper.
Well, they got a sharp guy. I'll tell you
sure
that.
did.
And but we're going to miss him down here. Just the best.
Yes, you know that. 5-star best, no question about that. Looking at any of the results yesterday that surprised you?
No, I think we saw It's Our Time get exposed. Why was he running in a one-turn mile as opposed to trying 2 turns? Well, I think you saw why. He had a little trouble getting that one-turn mile. So I would think he probably cuts back in distance. And Ted Noffey held his form going 2 turns at Keeneland. And I thought Intrepida was very good at Santa Anita yesterday.
Yeah.
He was going against that Baffert juggernaut. They had him boxed in. They wouldn't let him split horses. They shuffled him back on the turn, and he won anyways.
Yeah, he came from almost next to last at the top of the stretch, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, he won a mile race at Del Mar in 1:35 and change as an early 2-year-old. That's moving along.
Yeah, Jeff Mullins might have felt very good and accomplished in beating Baffert with all his top horses in that race. But don't worry about it, folks. Baffert still is loaded for bear. That's for sure. In any case, we wind up with the Breeders' Cup winning your in races today at Keeneland, the Bourbon and the Spinster. The Bourbon for 2-year-olds on the turf is a wide open affair, it seems. But the Spinster's going to be a good one. Torpedo Anna's got to take on Nitrogen today.
Yeah, it's an interesting race. Like John Hardoon said, I think Scylla probably makes the lead from the inside, but I think that leaves Torpedo Anna in a good pressing or stalking position. And then you got Nitrogen's going to try and pick her up in the lane. And we'll see, where that 3-year-old stands up against the older filly. I don't think Torpedo has been as impressive this year as she was last year, but she showed that heart last time. And you got to get past her. It isn't easy.
And Flavian Pratt, I'm sure, will try to get the most out of that heart today as well. All right, let's get a pick at Keeneland and Santa Anita, reminding everybody you got full Lindo reports for both Keeneland and Santa Anita available here at the South Point, free of charge in the South Point Racebook. The only place you can get it in this gaming capital is here at the South Point, and it's complimentary to the folks because they love horse players. Going to Keeneland first?
Yeah, let's go to race 5 at Keeneland. A first-time starter, number 4, Debbie Dahl, worked an 1/8 of a mile and 9 4/5 in April, bringing $175,000. Trained by Larry Ravelli, who excels with 2-year-olds, excels with sprinters. Walter Rodriguez is the jockey he uses when he's in Kentucky. I think this filly is very quick, and she's live today. 5-1 on the program. Number 4, Debbie Dahl, race 5 at Keeneland.
Fifth race, a maiden race for 2-year-old fillies. In this, you like the 4, Debbie Dahl, the 4. In the 5th race at Keeneland, we'll wrap it up at Santa Anita.
I'm going to go to the 4th race at Santa Anita, take on Rich Yang. I like number 2, Caro Buono. First time coming over from France. I thought this horse finished well in the Del Mar Juvenile turf, and he's come back and trained even better out of that race. I think that outing is going to do him a lot of good. He'll sit back, and I think he can make the last run in here. 5-2 in the program under Umberto Rispoli. Number 2, Caro Buono, race number 4 today at Santa Anita.
All right. Well, we got a Siraco play again today. We hit the Siraco play yesterday with the box, and you like number 2, Caro Buono in the 4th race, the Zuma Beach, and Richie likes the 1. So I'm going to do the Siraco exacta box at the 1-2-2-1. You like number 2 in this race. And John, the rest of what John has to offer, including suggested late pick 4s at both Keeneland and Santa Anita, available right now here at the South Point. John, enjoy the day. We'll talk to you on Wednesday.
You got it, Ralph. Good luck today.
All right. You got it, my man. Now we go to Jerry Jackowitz standing by with his Raiders hat on today. And Jerry, good morning.
I'm all Raiders colors this morning, Ralph.
Okay.
Black and silver. The 3-year-old version of Torpedo Anna from last year.
Yeah.
Could not be beat by Nitrogen. But this is a new year. We'll see what happens.
Oh, there's a little question mark there now for the new year, huh?
If she's back to that form.
Yeah.
And of course she should be better now because she's a year older. So.
Yeah. Well, we'll wait and see. That's going to be a heck of a race, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Jerry, you gave us a winner yesterday and an exacta with the link up as well. So what are we doing today?
We're going for the same thing. We're going to try and do it again.
Okay.
By the way, in the 4th at Santa Anita, I have a pop-out key that's neither one of the selections of either John or Richie. So that should make for a fun little race.
It should, and they should get the power pages to find out about that. That's for sure.
Ooh,
Aqueduct, please.
The 2nd race, we're going to go to number 10, Vintage Vino from the far outside with Linda Rice up. Mile and 3/16. There's room for the horses to get into the race without losing too much ground. I think she's right. If you get around 7-2, 3-1 is the bottom. I'll take the 10. Vintage Vino over the 2, 6, 8, and 9. Reverse 2, 6, 8, and 9 back over the 10.
All right. The team of Linda Rice and Jose Lascano on your horse, the 10, Vintage Vino, the 10, and the key. That's the key horse. The link-ups are 2, 6, 8, and 9, and reverse 2nd race at Aqueduct. And we got about 30 seconds to do Santa Anita.
Easy peasy. Okay. Let's go to the 7th at Santa Anita. Number 2, 10 figures, big drop down. So one of those yes and no's, but you're getting 6-1 on the horse. It's got a little more ability than these. Maldonado up for Miller. We'll take the 2 over the 1, 3, 4, and 7. Reverse 1, 3, and 4, and 7 back over the 2. The 2, 10 figures in the 7th.
All right, 7th race, the 2, 10 figures. The 2 is the key in the 7th. Link-ups are 1, 3, 4, and 7 and reverse. Jerry J's Power Pages for all of San Anita and all of Belmont at Aqueduct available right now at jerryjspowerpage.com. We wrap it up with a weekend full of stuff, and we're going to be back on Wednesday, God willing. Creek don't rise. In the meantime, Jerry, say it.
Have a great race day, everybody.